Ross Ulbricht is serving a double life sentence without parole for all nonviolent charges for creating a website. Please help free this peaceful man. Go to freeross.org and sign and share the petition.
So it's little wonder that smart shoppers everywhere take time out to pause and refresh. And where else but in the fountain where they serve ice-cold Coca-Cola?
The eMilitia Podcast 25, the year in review, without violating the NAP. Enjoy, fuckers.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode number unknown, because we are incredibly disorganised as always. You have today Founding Fathers here with us, myself, Anglo, who hasn't been here for a while, Bloody Revolutions, Empress of Meme, Hang 'em for Freedom, and Rebellious Liberty. So we've nearly got a full house of the eMilitia in here. And we are, in this episode, just going to be talking about, well, a year in review. But we don't know what we're going to be talking about this year that we're reviewing. And we're going to verge into the coming year of 2020 in our discussion. And we've got no structure for this. So if anybody else wants to suggest something to talk about, that would be great, because I don't know where I'm going with this.
See, I feel like we're going to start talking about CSGO now, because I've seen a few of your gaming videos. Fucking Anglo's been off, like...
You haven't seen that many, because you know that I don't like CSGO.
Well, no, you don't like it, mate.
Fake fan.
Anyway. Fake fan. So, I think we're going to kind of run through what's changed, because we all started roughly a year ago.
Really close.
Mine's the 4th.
What,
Mine is the 15th, coming up quick.
Mine's January 6th.
My God, that's scary how close we all are.
We all started, except them.
We all started within like a month of each other.
Jeez.
Did we?
When did you start then, Em?
She's been active other places, but as far as Instagram goes, she started...
March.
I'm scrolling like crazy back to my first meme, because I always fucking forget. Shocker.
You were on Twitter for quite a while before you were on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
I didn't touch the stuff. Twitter is a vile place. Actually, no, it's kind of cool these days. Like, I tried it, I think before I was even on Instagram, I tried it for a minute, and I was like, kind of dull.
Slowly wading into Twitter.
Libertarian Twitter in particular, I think is just so goddamn boring.
If you follow the right people, it's fine.
Well, maybe it is, but I've tried and I can't find anything interesting. They're all just completely unrelated memes.
Definitely like Instagram better out of the week I've been doing Twitter.
I feel like the Twitter Liberty community are the adults in the room. They're like very, they're all very orderly, and we're a little bit more colorful and chaotic. And
so news to them.
Yeah.
That's probably why we think it's boring, is because I just don't want to interact with us. They're like, fuck those kids.
Yeah, they're like eating crayons in the corner. Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. I find myself following a lot of published libertarian authors, and then just getting
there's your
bored
problem.
and going back to Instagram and posting stupid memes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to follow the good people. Like this. Mute your mic, dude.
So unprofessional.
Come on, hang 'em.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
Anyway, all the podcasts and type, they're the good people on Twitter to follow. So finding them has been that's made Twitter way better. But beforehand,
that's
it
a
was
good point.
just listen to all these intellectuals and stuff. They nail it. They're on their shit. Pretty fucking dull. So, everyone's year in review. Do we want to start at the top? Just put dads on the spot. A year on Instagram, a year of being a content creator and talking to our followers and doing your shit. How's it been?
And it has definitely been a big year. Like I said, I started on the 15th, so it's not quite a year, but we're coming up on it.
15th of January?
Yeah, 15th of January. As far as the page goes, I mean, it's grown somewhat steadily. But for me, myself, the biggest change, I definitely started out a minarchist. And through interacting with all you crazy fucks on there, I definitely became an anarchist. So that was a big change that happened in the last year.
You did that very quietly, because like we harassed the fuck out of Anglo.
Oh yeah, I know.
And you were just quietly in the background, like, yeah.
I didn't really want to get in on all that, but I was just assessing the situation, still going over some things in my head. And in the end, I decided, obviously anarchy is the way.
Respect. We had to publicly shame Anglo to get that done, and we still haven't got Jared from biting the bullet over to the dark side, but we're working on that too.
The
More
Americans?
radical than most of us still.
He's the filthy statist on the Biting the Bullet podcast.
Radical filthy status.
I know he's a confusing one. I do love him though.
Absolutely.
Anglo, how about yourself? Even though you disappeared to be an ethot for like 3 months.
Essentially. Well, I mean, apart from that, it's actually very similar to Dad's. I started 3 days earlier than him on January the 12th.
That's fucking nuts.
Oh, nice.
I know, right?
None of us knew each other, for the record.
Yeah, no, there was nothing similar.
I got him. So, well, again, a very similar story. You could say I was famously the minarchist of the podcast to start with, aside from a literal liberal we had for a short while. And
God, I forgot about him.
Of course, anarchy came along the way, and I thought, okay, do I need to put a label on this? And so I read more into agorism and decided that was the way to go for me. I want to expand on Instagram soon my thoughts on anarchy and where it sits in the world and who it works for and shit. But that was a very big change. Continuing with university, I managed to not have any crazy arguments considering I'm studying economics. It's interesting how easy it is to get people to agree with some very what would appear to be radical things, but they're completely logical with everything you learn in economics.
Sort of fighting against the current to think opposite.
Well, it's just like how I want to say it was Milton Friedman, but I don't think it was, who defined, let's say, the market is all consensual action. Actually, yeah, I think it was Rothbard. And in economics, you're literally just studying markets. So if you say markets are better than the government, which isn't hard to display, you find a lot of people are on your side pretty quickly, which is interesting because of how the reputation of universities is they're full of left-wing socialists. So I don't know a single actual Marxist.
Really?
Yeah.
In England, that's fucking shocking.
I know. In and the city I'm in, I guess they're all on a different campus doing art degrees. And
yeah, I met a few.
But if we're doing a year in review, there was was it like 2 months that was completely burnt out because I just felt like I was repeating myself constantly. I couldn't think of anything interesting to post. I found a new niche now, which is just, I think, like all my last 5 posts straight have just been taking the piss out of socialists. So maybe that's where my heart lies.
Trying a new old angle.
Yeah. It's that, well, I mean, if you talk about guns, you get the likes, but I just love making Marxists mad in the comments. So that's my passion for now.
I love making people mad.
Clearly.
That's part of the thing, having a bunch of followers. You're like,
family included.
Definitely.
Go on, BR, tell us your story.
Well, I mean, to just chime in on that last part, I hadn't fucked with socialists or Marxists in a long old time, just because it feels like, I don't know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Like, it's just kind of boring at this point. But, there's a lot of lefties that follow me, so I figured I had to shit on them real quick. And sure enough, shitting on the NHS was fun. I need to get back in that. Even things out. It's been a lot of shitting on Republicans lately. Deserved. So Keystone sent me a screenshot a minute ago of my account back in April. Yeah, April I had 3,420. I don't know. Keystone, he's like kind of he's my side piece. I love him very dearly. I had just under 3.5 thousand back in April, and then I started December 4th, 2018. So I'm
veteran.
Yeah, veteran compared to you young kids. I was around for a whole month before you guys.
Who's the boomer now?
I know, I'm the fucking boomer now. But I remember very distinctly Anglo sending me a message. I kept on seeing him pop up in my likes and shit. I'm like, oh, someone else trying to be a fucking, British libertarian.
Well, I didn't know you were Brit for a good while, actually.
Did you? No. I guess. Huh. But yeah, I guess we hadn't done the podcast or anything, and I hadn't really posted about being British. I was just so hardcore into the pure black flag anarchist shit. I was just going ham on that. So I didn't really have an ideological change since I started. But the tone has changed a lot. So when I first started, it was like, let's start shooting, fucking burn it all. And that's, as I sort of solidified my anarchist beliefs, because I was pretty new to it then. I was like, oh wait, it's all about sort of until you run out of options. So I've honed in on that, which has been, it's helped a lot with the way I run the page and kind of my message. So that's kind of been cool to come into. Very wholesome, and it helps me sell other people on it, because it goes from this angry Molotov throwing ideology to a sensible, peaceful way of living. And to explain that to complete, apolitical people, you usually get more nodding of heads and sort of kind words than "you're a fucking nut job."
I imagine.
So that's been the major change. And I'm still just blown away by how quickly all of us have blown up in a year. Like you see these older pages, and we're biting at their heels, man. It's a lot of people have been doing this for years, and I feel kind of rude. We've just popped up.
Well, you've
got
got
a
a normal follower account, so you can fuck off.
Don't ever apologize. Don't ever be sorry.
Yeah. But no, it's, I love our little team. We're making moves. It's kind of nice. And we're always kind of pushing stuff that I don't see other people doing. Like the reason we added EMP, a big part of that was the prison abolition stuff, the getting more into agorism, the propaganda, all those kind of messages that you just didn't really see in the community. Like there's hints of it and shit, but I feel like we're doing pretty good on getting into
Angie is pretty cool.
Yeah, she's cool as well. I guess. Yeah. she's alright. Bit bossy.
Like Anglo and Dad dropped off the podcast as soon as I joined.
That's true.
That's true.
Hey, to be fair, I popped back in for the vote to let you in, and I voted yes. So
I feel like I might have tuned in for that as well.
We were like, okay, well, I guess they're dead. It's unanimous. And then you both pop in and like, oh no, we agree. It's like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
I had to pop back in for the vote, and then I went back into my exile.
But,
I had like everyone message me saying we want to get EMP in. Like, what do you vote? I'm like, well, yeah. Why would I not?
And now she just runs the show.
Yeah.
It's the Empress Militia.
That's our little secret.
Not anymore.
It's only the she militia privately.
I only provide notes and harass people to being guests.
And structure and I don't know, ideas and
basically everything we needed.
Let's be honest, we definitely
In
needed an
one
administrative type.
God Almighty.
It was rough there for a while.
I'm not saying without EMP we wouldn't still be doing the same drunken thing.
Oh no, it would be going on. It would just be.
It just wouldn't sound as good.
Yeah, I went back and listened to some of the first ones a while back, and I was like, God, we were just wild.
They were quite pretty
and
rough.
recording. That was all we were doing.
All those episodes ago, about
Still worked though.
about 5 months ago.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we've been doing the podcast, I think, about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. So about half the time we've all been on Instagram, which that's another thing. Very early on, we were all like, all right, this is a good group. We're like, we've got a good message, good, cohesive thing. Let's do a podcast. And so it was very orderly, despite the chaos. The way we built up to that was like, okay, we're not ready yet. Let's get better equipment. Let's sort of solidify what we're going to do and shit. and it came
Yeah,
together.
It took a long time from it being suggested that we do it to actually happening. And I don't know why.
It did.
Like-
we were building up to it.
Like most things with the podcast, I had nothing to do with it. Like, I got invited to the group, like, and in the first week, they're like, hey, we're going to do our first podcast next week. And I'm like, huh? Like, I need a microphone or something?
Hell yeah.
And then by the second episode, I had a microphone. History.
So Imp, how's your year been? When did you start?
I started in March, and I mostly, like, at first I just posted templates, and my page grew really slowly, and then I started posting more political things, and all of a sudden it kind of like exploded. And then you guys asked me to join the eMilitia. Well, actually, Guns messaged me, and he's like, we're going to vote on you joining the eMilitia.
I know. I was like, that's not how we do it, you fuck.
I thought,
It was a
if you
favor.
vote no, this is going to be super awkward.
Classic
Then
Guns.
like, I'm going to have to pretend that, like, he didn't tell me, and then somebody is going to have said no, and it would give me a complex or something like that.
When I first got invited, and I got invited into the eMilitia chat, I can't remember who it was, but someone was like, hey, congratulations, Hang 'em for Freedom's invited, and someone else was like, did we come to an agreement on that? and I'm like, hello, how's everyone going? And then I scrolled up, and I'm like, oh.
I've always thought about that. Like, whenever we do the vote, and it's sort of like someone, I don't know, if there's a bit of contention, like, oh, no, I'm not too familiar with their stuff, or like, whatever it might be, and they scroll up, and it's like, ugh.
I mean, we could make a new group chat for that, but we've gone through like 5 group chats.
So we've got like 5.
Is it 5? I feel like it might be more. Because
I don't know.
people, like, they think we all just speak individually to each other or something, but we have multiple group chats, and then multiple old dead group chats that we had to fucking nuke for various reasons.
Don't have a templates chat anymore.
We don't have a what?
A templates
Well,
chat?
it's true. We used to have that.
Oh, what we do is
I
it's
forgot
just
about that
buried.
It's been dead for months.
I will revive it
I don't
right
even know what you're talking about.
Oh, there we go. I just found it.
Anyway, we just hijacked Imp's bit.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I was worried about not having enough to say, so it was kind of helpful.
Oh, sorry to throw you back in the war then.
No, it's okay. I don't remember. Guns told me, I joined. It was pretty well received. There was some pretty awful people, like that one lady.
Oh, I don't know why people freaked out. It's like, yeah, she covers topics we don't touch. She's well read and well spoken. I mean, yeah, duh.
People scared.
As
Scared. Something was different. And it was a woman. And it was a woman that was a different thing, and they got all butthurt.
It's not a boys' club anymore, but we still post heinous, horrible
Oh my
shit in
God.
the chat. Like
The worst.
we do not let up. It's not like everything got polite. I think it
Like,
might
maybe not verbatim,
but
but was it last night? And was like, I am not comfortable being in this chat anymore.
It was the
Wow.
other day, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't have to talk about why I said that though.
No. I wasn't gonna
I
do
don't even
that.
remember. Wasn't it Guns? Wasn't he doing something? I don't remember.
When's he not?
That's
Yeah, let's blame it on Guns.
Yeah, let's blame it on
You
Guns.
know, he's not here.
He
You
gets to
blame
be
it
the
on whoever's
scapegoat.
not here, because they're not
That's
here.
tradition.
I really like my page has been well received, but not just by like anarchists. I was telling the other guys one day, I have weird followings like German soccer following and a rodeo following and like a weightlifting following, and it's because of the templates. But they have to stay through like all this propaganda just to get the templates, and
I love it.
Perfect.
That's the
slowly
way to
more and
do it.
more.
Hook,
the
line,
More
only
and
and
more
sinker.
of these normal people, more and more of these normal people are liking my posts, and I'm just like, I really like to see that. I don't think I'm very aggressive in my posts.
Oh no, it's
I mean,
it's
radical maybe, but not like.
like just slipping something in front of their face, like, hey, you want some propaganda, buddy? Come here. Hey, look at that. Fuck cops. Yeah, you like that? I got some more too.
Yeah, it's like there's some people who are like, you will hate the state, stupid bootlicker. And then there's some people who are like, here are the things the state does wrong. And I'm more of like, here are the things the state does wrong. And I don't know.
Make your own decision.
We've got some German soccer rodeo anarchists.
Yeah.
The best kind.
Awesome. Diversify.
Yeah.
Diversifying your portfolio with really weird niche communities.
Yeah.
So you're one of the interesting ones in this group because you've been doing this like a long time in terms of being part of the Liberty community. Like as we talked about in your episode a while back, and so you've been involved, just sort of back from the
2012.
Yeah.
I think she said.
Yep.
Yeah, Ron Paul sort of era.
Big time Ron Paul supporter.
Hey.
And then real fast into anarchy. No minarchist stage, just Ron Paul didn't win, and I hated the government.
I'm not going to hold that against you.
I love it.
Yeah, so my point with that is like, while Em might be one of the newer members, she's been doing this probably longer than all of us.
Then
Like,
everyone, if you're listening, like longer than you.
He's a G.
Yeah.
We're picking up new listeners who've probably been really long.
More veteran.
Yes.
Anything else?
Wait, Ron Paul supporters. No, I'm done.
All right.
I've been done.
I just dragged it out like, hey, it's some other shit.
Content.
Content. Hang on. How has your year been? When did you start?
My first post was January 6th, 2019.
A newbie.
I had wanted to make memes for like a year, but I'm an old man and like technology scares me. And a couple different times I like downloaded apps to try to do memes and played with them, and I was just like got frustrated because the technology was hard and I'm old and I stopped my feet. So yeah, I finally got around to it. You know, it's this time of year, like everyone's got a little bit of downtime, and just listening to the politics and not being involved had gotten to me where I decided I had to step my game up and decide. And it's not just the technology, it's like actually taking your thoughts and making them into a meme. I'm like, can I do that?
Yeah,
I was like very insecure about that. Anyone else?
Your art.
You
Yeah, that was me. Like, I mean, I saw all these memes. I'm like, I can't make good memes like that. But turns out anyone can, because I can do it.
That's wholesome.
So yeah, so finally I broke down and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make some memes. And so yeah, I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary, January 6th. I don't know if you'll hear this right before or right after, but thanks for listening. So I started that. And it was just a gateway, just something to do to blow off steam. Like I wanted to be more involved. My wife got tired of hearing me just bitch and moan about the government and every little thing. And she was like, well, do something. And I'm like, well, where do I start? And for some reason, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I need a meme page. That's how I'll fight.
How can I radically affect change? Memes. Memes will do fine.
At least I was spending time trying to create memes and templates. We didn't have EMP at the time, and people weren't just giving out free templates. So like,
Those were dark days.
when I started, like dark days. Like you had to find templates, you had to find pictures and break them down and use a couple different apps just to get to the point.
Netflix, trying to get a template.
So yeah, at least it was occupying my time doing that and not just up in her face about how much government sucks and how much I hate cops. So that went on for a while, and I was at work one morning and Guns had texted me, and I hadn't had a lot of interaction with the guys from the eMilitia other than like just like reposting some of their stuff and then being like, thank you, cool, keep up the good work. And he texted me out of nowhere, DM me out of nowhere, and was just like, hey, would you be interested? And I didn't even know what to do. Like, I'm like, huh? I went from where? And I liked all the guys, and I'm like, I'm kind of a loner. I don't want to hang out with fucking people I don't like. And I asked them, like, I don't know. I resist fucking having to talk to anyone. And I just asked him, I'm like, what's required? And he's like, the only thing that's required is that you put our names in every post. And I'm like, well, that's pretty easy. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. So, like, was I saying it before we started recording that, like, in my first week or 2 weeks, they're like, hey, we're doing a podcast. I'm like, what the fuck's a podcast? Because again, I'm all old. I'm like, I've heard of them. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever listened to one.
Well, I don't have a pod, so...
Yeah, I don't have a pod. And I'm like, how does this work? And someone's like, get a microphone. And I'm like, geez, these guys are fucking... These fucking young punks and their microphones and podcasts and shit. I don't know what... But I kind of wanted to keep getting involved. So I was like, yeah, I bought a microphone. And I'm like, we'll give it a shot. And turns out we all get along pretty good. We have fairly decent conversation. If we didn't, this podcast probably wouldn't still be here.
I would probably do it, just shout into the fucking nothingness.
Get true, because that's what we all did before anyway, so.
That's true. This is cheap therapy. So
yeah, we don't have to be alone anymore.
Yeah, it's a more healthy outlet.
We can be autistic together.
Yeah, there's no better way.
Pretty much. So yeah, the year progressed from there. Like we eventually picked up AMP. We got rid of some people along the way.
People.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Now here we are. Most of us are coming up on our 1 year anniversary, at least to the Instagram, or a lot of people from coming out of the closet. And I don't know, it's very interesting. Like a lot of us are making landmarks, doing different things.
Yeah, you're a man on the ground. That's where you really come in, where you're really shining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What work have you done this year on the ground, man?
I went to DC.
Nice.
I'm going
doing
to
Virginia
Virginia
stuff.
coming up. I'd like to go to some warmer places. If anyone, any followers.
Is Georgia one? Isn't there
Georgia's one. I'm hoping.
Boogaloo 3 or something popping off there soon?
We'll see. I've seen more activism through my page from Kentucky at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Which is cool. I'm not too far from Kentucky, so.
Probably isn't warm there, though.
No, but they got some mountains and moonshine, so.
That'll keep you warm.
But yeah, activism in southern states, good for me. So yeah, that's where we're at. We come up. I'm about to have an anniversary. Everyone else is. Got followers that I never thought I would have. Again, I started the page out of frustration and needing something to vent. Didn't ever think I'd have a group like this or a podcast or anything. So 2020 to me, like, I only see things getting better, but politics are going to be worse. Like the advent of freedom is going to be better. The pushback from politicians is going to be worse, but I think we're on good ground.
At least we have each other. Anything else you want to add, or wholesome?
That's enough.
All right, Rebs.
Okay. My year. Anyways, first I want to apologize. I'm sick, so I might sound a little funny.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah, that's
I know.
not okay.
It's just this is so rough on me, guys. I can't do this. No, actually, this year's been really good. It's been busier than I thought it would be, for sure. I like Hang'em, kind of just started my page. I started it. My first post was the 4th of January. I think I made the page like on the 20th or something. I decided to like actually do something about it, make some posts. I kind of like started off as like I wanted to get into it by doing memes and like also having like a shop on the side. So that was like kind of my first impression of like, okay, I can like maybe make a little bit of money on this, you know. I don't know. I didn't really see it going anywhere, but there's some cool designs. My wife's a graphic designer, so that'd give her some projects to do while she's bored. Yeah, like Hang'em, I was like, hey, let's I'm really frustrated. My wife is really sick of hearing me complain about everything and not do anything about it. And so she was always like, you should just make your own podcast. You should make your own podcast. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really interested in that at all. So I did the meme page. Yeah. If I'm going to be honest, when you guys first like threw the idea out, I was like, oh no,
Fuck, that's awful.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can back this. Like, yeah, I guess I'd try it out, but I don't know if I want to be this involved and everything. And so decided, yeah, like started making memes and everything. I remember my man Fox, Liberty Fox, he was the first one. Him and I kind of teamed up, I think.
R.I.P.
And then yeah, he like came to me and said, "Hey, there's a couple other people that are starting this group that want to invite us. You in?" And I was like, "Oh, is this like committal? Like what's this all about?"
Once
you know?
you're in, you never leave.
Yeah,
It's
I got
extremely
nervous. Like I mean, I'm kind of just doing this to screw around at this point. I'm not here to like really get committed. And so yeah, I mean, like 13,000 followers later and like 700 posts later. We're here.
Reb's just flexing his OG muscle because he was
Subtle flex.
one of the first.
No big deal. I was one of the first couples. So
Yeah, you had in a couple with Liberty Fox, and then got into a group thing. Who was Anglo? When did you come in? Because I know Rebs.
I think
Originally, it was me, Rebs, Punk, Fox,
maybe
who else
Isms.
was it? Yeah,
I think
Liberty.
it was that, and then I
Cowboy,
was the first
no.
one after that.
Cowboy.
Oh, no, Cowboy.
I don't remember if he was there at the beginning or not.
No, it wasn't at the beginning.
What about Jersey?
He was soon. No, he wasn't at the beginning.
Oh really?
No, it was just that four. It was you two, Punk and Fox to start
Yeah.
with. And then it was
pretty
a
cool.
few days later that I got in.
Yeah, we grew it quick.
And what? Now we're like the only two active ones, and added some new friends.
Yeah.
My brothers and sister.
Yeah.
Brother.
Shoot,
So shit, you guys are the only two OGs.
Oh yeah.
I always thought that like Bloody was.
Nah,
one of the
I was
first
actually
ones.
a fairly late addition because I came after Anglo and you two. So
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because I asked
Anglo
you if
came
you wanted to
pretty
be in,
quick.
and you had your tinfoil hat on. You were like, I don't know about this. You could.
oh
all be
yeah,
against
I
the
was
fucking
like,
That's how
I
I
don't
felt
know,
too.
I didn't
Like-
trust anybody back then.
like I
I
talk
may have
about
been
shooting
one of,
people
like,
a lot.
The first people in, but for sure I was like, I don't know who these people are, so I lurked in the chat. I didn't do anything in the chat for probably the first month or two. I
I think
swear.
that was the entire first month. Was all of us trying to figure each other out. Like, can I?
Yeah.
trust-
Yeah.
How real do I need to be?
So that's been the nice thing about the podcast for sure is like I get to hear some voices and talking to you guys. Like you guys aren't feds, and you are
that would
very well paid feds if you were.
Yeah.
Like
We're just very good at our jobs.
this is commitment
Except
here, you know.
Yeah, Craig's a bit obvious. He needs to work on his OPSEC.
That's a joke, everybody. We don't have a Fed on our team.
Allegedly.
Not voluntarily.
I'm
He
not
wasn't
promising
invited.
anything.
I work for the Mossad, not the US government. So
Yeah.
that's
the
that's
Russian
significantly better.
Oh, God.
Don't do that. It's going to be
You're
a
gonna
whole
trigger everyone.
conspiracy theory.
Tinfoil hats on.
Yeah. It's funny. I remember making the page, and next thing you know, I realized like all I'm doing at work is making memes because I'm like I found this new passion of making memes and posting them, and I realized pretty quickly I'm like, wow, I enjoy doing. I've always enjoyed politics and stuff, but I'm like, man, I really enjoy doing this and actually doing. I mean, being the neckbeard, posting pictures and stuff, but like it helped me to become more confident in my ideology, I guess, to where I'm like, I need to research this, like this is my profession, and so
Definitely.
without making this page, I wouldn't be, I think, as
Well-
full blown anarchist as I am now. So
And getting in arguments and having to defend your ideology
yeah,
makes you a stronger person with it, like, because then you have to question what you're saying
Mhm.
constantly and always improve.
Yep, and that's good. Like if you aren't questioning your beliefs, then that means you're not really digging deep. You're not trying to challenge them, and you should be
Just one
challenging your
reason.
beliefs.
Yeah, that's why I credit this page for making me an anarchist. Because it literally took me like a month of having serious conversations with people and them like actually asking real questions. So I was like, fuck, I'm
Mhm.
wrong.
Yeah,
Don't need to
I
say it.
remember when I started, I was so timid in the memes that I'd post. because I was just like thinking, oh my god, round the corner is going to be a Marxist who's going to fucking spank me and make me look like such an idiot on the internet. So I just kept posting about the European Union for like a few months, and I was like, okay, I'm actually going to start trying to branch out a bit. But it's you're completely right. It's so helpful to understand what it is you're about.
Yeah, I realized it ignited like a passion under me, and I'm like, okay, I need to get going here. And so
yeah,
it's been good for me for sure. I started really researching, and I listened to a lot of different podcasts for other liberty-minded ideas. And so while I mean, yeah, I love not having the state around, you know?
It sparked a lot of interesting conversations with people I know in real life.
Yeah, okay. So for me, I am definitely much more of the reserved, like, you know what, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. I'm not really talkative, but this has given me like ideas and like an actual outlet of wanting to let people know something. And so I've become much more in your face about stuff in person too. And my family does not like it. My wife's family does not like it. And no one I know really likes it. So everyone thinks I'm crazy.
Sounds great.
Yeah, like just being over with my in-laws this Christmas break. I swear, anytime any sort of like discussion could come up where it's like opinions, like my mother-in-law was like, "Oh, how about we don't talk about it?" And I was like, "This has nothing to do with politics, even." But she just doesn't want to hear me talk about anything. I swear. So,
how many times were you asked about a grandkid?
None. They're pretty good about that.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn. That's how much they hate you. They're like,
yeah,
we want a grandkid from you. Wow.
Like, yeah, you can just keep on not having kids. That's good.
So I don't know. This has probably ruined my personal relationships in some ways. So
in a healthy way, though.
But if they did, are those people worth keeping around?
True. I mean, they still keep me around a little bit, but they don't like my ideas. Oh, that's too bad.
Look it up, Buttercup. It'll be all right.
I feel like we said, like, hey, Reb, how's your year been? You've gone, oh, man, it's great. Like, my family hates me. My wife hates me. My friends hate me. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited.
It.
It's good. It's been super busy, and I need to somehow balance my career with doing this because I want to do this a lot more and stuff. So it's good. Yeah.
I'm an e-thought like Anglo.
True.
Yeah, do that for a while.
How much bank have you made so far?
Millions.
Like all that bath water.
True.
Oh my god, people would actually buy that if we did it. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
Well, you know what you have to do.
Yeah, it's done.
Like the very first episode I was on the eMilitia with, like, when I was a guest, that was in the comments.
Oh wow!
Just naturally. I've said this before, and I think you even said it. You could make bank selling feet pics. They don't have to be yours, though.
Yeah, Hangam and I have a whole scheme.
Really?
Well, do we?
Yeah, the Liberty.
What's my cut?
Oh God, no!
No
one wants to see Hangham's feet. Jesus Christ!
No one wants to see my feet. Well, you know what? I don't think
I will pay you not.
We
to
had a
someone
whole conversation about this. Do you not remember?
Imp, he's old.
I have a lot of conversations about a lot of feet.
Anglo has corrupted this group.
Hangam, you
remember the Liberty Feet Pics Instagram?
What's that?
Do you remember the Liberty Feet Pics Instagram account we were going to create?
What?
Maybe.
It was the whole thing.
Oh, guys.
He drinks, and you can't trust him to remember. It's
That's
a
standard. None of us
disease.
will remember anything.
Well, no, I was saying that to put the blame on him, but really it's true of anyone in this group. So
Yeah, pretty much.
the future. What do we see?
Well, we've just said.
Feet pics.
Yeah.
Feet pics. 2020. So I said this in one of my recent posts. I think 2020 is going to be a total shit show, but ultimately none of it fucking matters because everything's going to keep on melting down regardless. So pour yourself a drink, sit back in your recliner, and fucking watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's not much you can do.
Politically speaking, But I think the Liberty community, like as it is on Instagram and Twitter, I think that'll keep growing. Because it's pretty, it's definitely showed us, like over the last year, that it definitely will continue to grow.
Yeah, we've been really surprised by just how much there actually is. Like,
exponentially.
I don't know about anybody else, but the reason I made my account is I thought, fucking hell, like nobody else thinks like this. I need to go out and find other people who do. And there's been, thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah. Like, I mean, look at
you got to be optimistic.
Guns has like 18.5 thousand followers.
Jeez, I remember when him and I were neck and neck.
Yeah, me too, the little fucker.
But that's been one of the biggest like shots in the arm for me, because like it's easy to feel alone whenever you've got ideas like ours and you're living among a bunch of filthy statists, you know. But then you get to come on Instagram and there are other people.
Yeah, people who are willing to publicly say they have these radical ideas. Like, whew. There's hope. There's some fucking hope. And something I'd really love to see in the coming year is this community get more into activist shit, because politics is never really affected by votes. Like, government will just sort of carry on in its usual way of, oh, the left's doing this, the right's doing this, the left's doing this. And it's just kind of how the machine works. There's nothing shocking about, oh, they've taken power, now all this is going to happen. Like, dude, that was going to happen 5 miles slower this way than the other way. It's all irrelevant. When you really see change is civil disobedience, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King kind of shit.
Hong Kong.
That's where you see people really make a difference, because the system, if it would allow for radical change, it wouldn't work. They wouldn't allow it to.
If voting changed anything, they'd make it illegal.
That's the one. Summarized neater than I was gonna. And so like the way this community is going, actually getting out, meeting each other, doing these. I mean, the Second Amendment's a really good issue for everyone to kind of start showing face and rallying behind.
Rally around.
But I'd like to see it happen with a lot of other stuff. I mean, guns are something people are passionate about, but I would like to see more to do with drug war kind of stuff. Really just mass civil disobedience in regards to that. I feel like that's kind of the flip side of the coin. You've got the war on drugs and not the war on the Second Amendment, but gun control. Both of those are such big issues for controlling the populace, and I'd really like to see more activism in both. We're doing good, but I think as this community grows, we can do our fuck ton better. And we've now got the kind of system where people get together really fucking quickly, which is awesome. Everyone's kind of solidifying finally. The infighting it'll always be there, but I feel it's less important these days.
It has settled down a lot, I reckon, in our time.
It's because we're at like the end of the rope. Like any infighting is just kind of irrelevant to us down here.
Maybe.
I don't know. I do feel people are sort of finally like, oh fuck, we need to actually quit being neckbeards and actually get some shit done.
Well, man, at least you've got things like 2A rallies that you guys can go to. I'm going to get some people together in London like next month just to meet up for drinks. That's the closest that we can get to fucking activism in this country. Jesus, if we...
Well, that's a start. That's a start. That's where it starts at. No, that's actually, it's a shame the whole 2A rally thing didn't start with a few drinks and people getting together earlier, because we might not be in the situation we are now. Like, I personally think just getting together with people in your community with the same beliefs make you stronger.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
All right.
Absolutely. For the longest time, this community, and I mean, I don't want to expand it to the right, but like anyone who's not out there for all these fucking animal rights, gay rights kind of issues, we just suck at fucking activism. Like, for the longest time, it's just been, I mean, for gun rights, it's been, just ship off a check to the NRA, or more recently, ship off to gun policy, Gun Owners of America. And those last two are actually legit organizations, but you can't leave it at that. There has to be multiple components to your activism. You can't just ship off money. You have to show face, have bodies out there being visible and causing issues.
Vote with your feet.
Otherwise, they just don't fucking care. Yeah, vote with your feet. Show face. Well, don't show your face. Cover your face, but be there.
Well, to do that in London, you get fined £100.
Do you?
Did you not see a while ago, they've got like a face detection cameras in some parts of London now. A guy lifted his shirt up over his face, and the police stopped him and fined him 100 quid.
I saw that.
Oh fucking hell!
Jesus Christ.
Just wear a burqa. I think they were doing that in
Honestly,
in.
you can get away with it that way.
They were doing that in Sweden or something. Like they banned face masks, so they just started wearing burqas or something.
wow.
It's like, well,
That's like hiding your guns when they start coming to take them.
yeah.
Like, I mean, that's on that level is going, okay, well, I'll just change what I'm going to wear so they don't look at my
Fucking
face
ridiculous.
and put me in a profile.
Regulating what you can have on and what you can't. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd certainly like to see just a lot more civil disobedience in 2020. That's what we fucking need. Just show them they can make laws, they can write them, but
Just don't give a fuck.
yeah.
I think what we
arrest
saw
us
in
all.
Bitcoin bitch.
2019 will just progress. I think we're going to see, like, I never expected the governments to come down like they are now on guns, like in Virginia, in Georgia, in Kentucky, in other places. Like, I never thought I'd see it come that quickly. And at the same time, in the last year, I never thought I'd see so many people come around to share my beliefs.
Radical liberty-minded thinking. Yeah, I thought it'd be a few thousand, but now, I mean, with a few of us heading towards 15, 20K, just brand new accounts, like a year old, I'm pretty hopeful. There's a lot of young people actually, you know, their first sort of flirtation with politics, and they're like, it's all fucked. My parents are stupid, or they're so misguided, and yeah, none of it makes sense.
Yeah, and it's so grassroots with what we've got going now. Because the only time it's been anything, well, I'll try and word this a bit better. The only time libertarianism has been mainstream before was the like of Ron Paul and the Tea Party movement, and it's got to be like just as big now, but there's no there's no face for it. There's nobody leading the charge.
No
So it's
cult
just
of personality.
it's gonna like if someone does take up that role, because despite being anarchists, we need a leader. Well, the whole movement will need someone to represent them the way that they have before. But you can just see, like, when that person appears, it's going to explode in popularity because everyone's just waiting for it to happen. And how will the election affect this? Because one way, it will go one of two ways. Trump gets revoted, more gun control keeps happening, more people figure out the system's fucked, or Democrats get voted in. And the last time there was a Democrat, the Tea Party movement took off. So one way or another, it seems like this election is just going to keep the momentum going forward.
Yeah, it's kind of nice how much of a shit show it is, because it's just fuel for us. Like, whoever wins, it's kind of okay for us. Like,
It proves our point either way.
In the
Yeah,
end, it
it's
doesn't
like-
make a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who wins at this point.
Exactly.
Like, the faster, like, can we do these down to 2-year elections? So they can switch back and forth even faster?
Who do you guys think will be the Democratic nominee?
I don't even know.
Out of all 70 candidates, I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say
I think
Biden.
it's gonna be Hillary.
Yeah, probably Biden, wouldn't it?
You think it's gonna be Hillary?
It's gonna be Hillary again.
It could be, like,
Like pop in.
Yeah, like last minute after everybody's like images have been like fully tarnished.
Or after she's killed them all.
Ooh,
Could be that.
tinfoil hats on, everybody.
Probably running this like campaign right now against everybody like secretly.
Yeah, just like a little swipe here and there.
dude,
Yeah, like getting the people, her friends in the media and everything, like to go against.
let's say
them.
Like
Fastest-
Swalwell farting. That could have been all on her.
fastest
Yeah.
collaboratism.
What?
Like, Trump gets impeached, but gets off, but then loses the election.
Mm.
Like,
Republican boogly.
the right will be so pissed. The left will feel so validated. Shit will go insane.
I think the results of the election, they're going to be like a net positive for us because we get to laugh at either side.
Yeah.
Like either side
Yeah,
is
we
just going to
wouldn't
be
either
outrageous.
for sure.
They're going to be like, oh, it was the deep state working against Trump. And then the other team that's going to be like, it was Russia working against whoever.
Freedom.
Hillary. It's just going to be
no
a
one
nightmare.
ever takes responsibility for sucking in an election. There's always something to blame.
But it's so funny here though how Labour got absolutely destroyed in our election last
Oh
month.
man.
And then
So now
Russia-
apparently, oh yeah, people try to put it on Russia, but the funniest thing is, again, Twitter delivers when you see the amount of people saying people voted for the Conservatives in large swathes in working class constituencies. Clearly, democracy has been stolen from the people.
Yeah, I saw that and was like,
God, it gives me a
fuck
heart
me.
attack.
Democracy has been stolen from the people.
Because the actual people don't vote for you, you fucking champagne socialist cunt.
You can take the democracy. It's not even theft. Like, I had it on my front lawn, and no one wanted to take it until I put for sale on it.
Huh?
You don't get... you've never put something on your front lawn, and you had a free sign on it, and no one wants it, and then you put for sale, and then it gets stolen?
Oh, you don't know how much shit gets stolen in here, mate.
An island of
like,
thieves.
no one wants it until they think it's worth something. Damn, way to start off the new year with some fucking dry ass shit that the Brits didn't even get.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
My last reference. Oh my god. Where are you guys at?
I think we can blame that one on the Brits there. Hang on.
Fuck.
I don't follow up.
Am I that stoned?
Fucking foreigner.
I didn't follow that at all, if I'm being honest.
Me neither. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I'm from here, not even.
Well, someone else start talking then.
Someone else take over. Fuck.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what are your goals? I mean, like, BR, maybe the tactics manual, perhaps.
Oh yeah, that book I'm writing. Yeah, no, I definitely want to get. I definitely want to get that out and like physically in people's hands, and have a web location for people to download it. That is a good point. I'm very much on top of it.
We have a lot of really cool guests for this year.
We do.
I mean, especially more recently, we've got Car Campit from Fadcast. He's going to be coming on to talk about Boogaloo Communications. I think like ham radio, he's kind of an expert in that area. Maybe mesh networks, haven't really talked to him. Matt from the Status Quo Pod is going to be coming on soon. We've got a lot of people who have confirmed that they're going to come on, but we don't really have plans set up in stone. It's going to be a good year for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many people actually want to come on.
If you ask them like in a way where they don't have a choice to say no.
You just got added to a bunch more platforms.
Tell me how you do that, because that sounds interesting.
Publicly ask them. That's what I did to Anti-State, and everybody was like, "Yeah, go on the podcast." He like posted something, and I was like, "Now it's time to come on the podcast," and there were like 50 likes, and he's like, "Yeah."
Fuck.
Got you, bitch.
Yeah, everything's coming up, eMilitia.
Everything until we get removed from like all of Anchor.
Yeah, well, we're probably not the most radical on there, so I think we're safe.
Good.
We could all get zucked by this time next year. You never know.
It could be the goal.
Sure, I wouldn't make it a year.
I'm actually surprised none of us have been hardcore zucked yet.
It's a fucking miracle, honestly.
Like we've all had shadow bans
a big sucking coming before the election.
People keep reporting my templates as suicidal, and it's really getting on my nerves.
That's some bitch stuff.
They're not that bad.
Well, okay. So the one that was reported last night, it may or may not have been the tooth meme that I've been warned about by fellow Liberty community folks.
I actually support them, and damn you for ever showing that to me. I hate it.
What?
I don't support the ban at all. Meme? I have thought about not following EMP after seeing the tooth meme, because that's my decision. It was a tough one. I chose to follow her, but she hasn't posted it recently, so good for her.
Also, like, I was posting like my top 10 favorite memes from the year, and that one was one of them because of the reaction. And somebody reported it within like 30 seconds.
What?
What the fuck is going on right now?
I will message it to you privately because I've been warned by like.
Report it anyway.
I've been warned by like all kinds of people that they don't want to see it again.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
It is very, very disturbing.
I've never seen it.
I would never try to censor anyone else for showing that, but I've seen it and it's disturbing to me.
It's a template, and somebody cuts a tooth with fingernail clippers.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I have seen that one. I've seen that.
I can't even imagine it.
I forgot about that.
Oh,
That makes my
exactly.
mouth
Yeah,
hurt.
it's horrible, dude. It's horrible. And
makes
then
my
the
mouth
next
hurt.
picture, they only have half a tooth.
Wow.
Oh god.
And then the
Oh.
last part of the meme, they're biting ice cream.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
That's the really heinous part.
Do you know what? Oh, I've got a really bad one that'll make you cringe to think about. Think about putting a cocktail stick underneath your toenail and kicking a wall.
What?
Yeah.
Is
we
it
do
that kind of line?
No, not cutting your tooth off with a fucking. Yeah. I'll put the stick in my fucking
Okay,
toenail
why is
and
the
kick
inside
it.
of this woman's tooth red? That's what I need to know.
I think it's like a
Are all
nerve.
teeth like that?
Irritancy.
I don't want to know that much about it. Oh, pull it out or
Take the
something.
bullet and Google
know
Google
what
cut
that
in
is.
half.
Hang on, it's not even the right tooth.
Ah,
There's
it's a
a
meme,
it's a
Anglo.
it's a
It's a
continuity error.
meme,
I can't
dude.
have
Like,
I don't even think the last picture is the same gender.
that. Wow, you got to be pretty astute if you know that.
well, Emp's cancelled again, assuming genders.
oh yeah, he loves to do that.
There you go.
Honestly, you bring a woman on, and all they do. Sex.
hate, hate.
I escaped a canceling the last episode. Barely.
Wait, did we even air that one?
I was talking more about the manga challenge. We did edit out the
Oh.
worst part.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah. By we, she means her.
State censorship.
It was myself and Jared. We both needed edited.
Do we want to finish up sort of the first major event of next year for sort of our community is going to be the Virginia rally, which I feel is always worth harping on about.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
So
Well, I mean,
I've-
I've got no horse in the race, so someone else take it.
Well, I've got a quick rant about this. So on my Twitter, I've got all these fucking bores who are commenting on my. So I shared Trigicon's or Trigi Confucius's thing about the announcement for the rally and stuff. I see so many people. I tried to talk to one friend about not carrying a rifle. He kind of went off on me, but I wasn't surprised. That's not going to help us. What the fuck has been helping us since like the 30s, you cunt? What, being polite, dressing in your Sunday best, and like being the polite gun owner who's, you know, I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I'm here to sign a petition.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They don't give half of a fuck. So they're all, the Virginia Citizen Defense League has made their suggestions on what's appropriate and appreciated. What's appropriate and appreciated doesn't fucking matter. This is about civil disobedience. It's not fucking Sunday at church.
I think we need to talk about what's appropriate, or we'll get into what kind of noose to use.
Yeah, like I don't know, blade or rope. But no, seriously, like it's time to change tactics. And Confucius talks about this. Dr. Boo, you know, all of us talk about this. You just can't keep up with this. We're not talking be violent, you know, be there to kick it off. We're talking show them that you're about to make very well prepared people felons, and none of us are going to fucking comply. So that's going to lead to an ultimatum where you have to kick in doors of previously innocent people, and I mean still innocent people, but now lawbreakers.
Now criminals, quote unquote.
Yeah. And that's what you're showing them when you come out in full kit. You know, they're saying, oh, all these bubbers are going to come out and make us look bad. No, you're making us look bad by being these half-ass fucking do-nothings who think you can show up in numbers, just polite. You're not Second Amendment practices if you show up just with a few signs and whimpering about some shit at a rally where you could be armed. And
No, style.
where the message is to be like, look at how many of us are prepared. That's the
Is
message.
it shall not be infringed or please don't infringe?
I don't know. Ask these fuckers.
Yeah.
Please don't infringe. Please no step on snack.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's don't tread on me. Fuck off. That last part.
Look around and find out.
Yeah. Pull up, bitch. Seriously.
Well, it's
And,
really coming down to people's will to resist.
Yeah, like you can go quietly off to. You can fucking saw your rifle in half. That's up to you. But if you want to actually make a stand, which is what this whole thing's about, you have to look the part. Being polite is done. We've tried it for decades. It's done fuck all. It's just compromise after compromise, and government is the best at waiting for you to just gradually die off.
They wait for you to make the mistake.
Well, with that being said, if I get arrested on January 20th,
Yeah,
are you guys gonna rally outside to get me released? Because like, depending on what laws they pass, like carrying a rifle on this property could be very, very illegal.
Going in full kit, hang 'em?
No, I'm flying there,
Oh fuck.
but someone said they'd
Gonna buy something once you're down there?
no, they're gonna let me carry a rifle that they have, an extra rifle. My plan is that there's no shots fired ever.
Oh yeah.
And if there are, it doesn't matter. We'll be fishing a barrel. So let's all hope that doesn't happen. But I do think arrests could be very possible. I think as people are coming in and dispersing, the ability for the police to be able to get in and arrest people can happen, and I think that's might be their plan. I don't know. I'm preparing for it.
I would be surprised if there weren't any arrests at all. Just being honest.
Yeah.
And like
Obviously,
people
an
are-
excuse.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
this,
like,
is, this is an opportunity for us to actually show some,
But
something.
it will
you know, they're
probably
gonna
be
do
a
what they
pretty
can
big
to stop
arrest
it.
too. Like carrying an open firearm. I don't know what that holds, but so
That's a lot of people to arrest, and over guns, like that's not going to end well. I think they'll know better.
Yeah.
but that's what we thought the whole
You know who
time.
Angel's talking about, right?
Everything they said, they're like, "What? You're gonna say that? That's insane. That won't work out well for you." And they keep doing it. So I think it's really going to come down to game day. Knowing it's hard to speculate because we don't know how they're going to react. We kind of know what we're going to do. We're going to show up with rifles and stand for the Second Amendment and just human rights.
It's got to be done.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I think it's kind of all or nothing. Like, you guys have to be a solid group, and if they want to move on you, you got to politely but firmly be like, "Sorry, we're not coming with you," and then it's up to them.
If you think about it, like when Rosa Parks was arrested, she was arrested on like a December 1st, and her trial was on like December 5th. And like without the internet, 5,000 people organized and showed up at her trial.
Dang.
For like the next year, people like the buses who like she was arrested for, what is it, like sitting on the bus, like for the next year, like 381 days, people like they straight up walked to work no matter the weather to protest that. Like if they arrest you guys, like that's the energy we need to bring.
Absolutely.
They didn't even have internet.
100%. Yeah. And the way we responded, you know, regardless of what the situation was to the whiskey thing in New York, that kind of energy and proper, full-on, old-school civil disobedience is what we need from this. It can't be half-assed like these fucking FUDs want. It's got to be full-on making a stand. Otherwise,
I think we have some momentum. I think we could see some more things like that happen in the next year.
Yeah. That's 100% what needs to happen. And this community is very good at getting together and backing that. Like, if there are any arrests, I'm sure we'll be putting together, you know, GoFundMes and shit for that. And gun policy is actually pretty good. They were like right there with the whiskey thing, ready to help out. So I'm sure for this, they definitely want to get involved. You know, there's all sorts of people who would back this if it goes.
Just for that, I renewed my membership this year. I wasn't sure if I would.
Is it?
But I'm like, you know what? They were willing to go up to bat for him.
I need to renew mine if it's
Just everybody go do
it. Do what?
So just everybody go do it.
Yeah, they are good people, but like I said, we can't expect them to be, you know, the only thing in the fight.
No, not at all. We have to
get out
do
there.
our
So.
part.
Yep. A strong message to end on, unless anyone else has anything about 2020.
No, that's the biggest topic at the moment for sure.
I think that's a good one to go into 2020 on, honestly.
Yep. So just all the details for you, you lovely people. So the rally will be January 20th. There is a pre. Huh?
At 8 a.m.
a.m. Yeah, 8 a.m. You can show up at 12, whatever. Nah. A lot of people, I think there's all sorts of staging grounds for for groups getting there. I think there's buses from one of the hotels. Hang 'em, is that true?
I don't have any information on that.
Okay.
I think that's what I heard.
So yes, if you for some reason you're not follow Trigiconch, Hang 'em for Freedom, Dr. Boogaloo, all three have they're all up to date on well, Hang 'em less so, but the other two very on their shit with the with information. There will be a pre-rally party. That's your shit, Hang 'em.
The 19th.
Yeah, come on out. We're having it at the brewery, Tabal Brewery.
And this is all in
it's just
Richmond,
gonna
right?
be a bunch of fucking patriots hanging out, drinking some beers, talking fucking anarchy and libertarianism. Should be a good time.
And there is free shit, most importantly.
There is free shit. We have, man, I feel like I dropped the ball on not having all our sponsors. There's a lot of great people in the community who have been donating and support the cause and have been giving out free products to people who come to the pre-party. That we have an open raffle, door prizes. Come in, you get a ticket. You have a chance to win some fucking free gear from people in the community who support us.
And then next day, nice and hungover for a very important rally.
For like an 8-hour rally.
True Patriot style.
There's a good chance it'll be cold. Pack water in your backpack.
Yes.
Along with your and maybe some energy snacks, some toilet paper. We'll turn into San Francisco if we got to.
Goddamn. If you're in Virginia, a neighboring state, or for those, there's plenty of people coming in from way the fuck away. Power to you. Hope it all goes well. And we'll be keeping everyone up to date on the situation and any fallout if there is any, and etc.
And I'm not okay with people pooping in public. I want to end it with that.
That's
I want people from Virginia to be like, he wants people to shit everywhere. I don't. That's gross. All right? Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Don't shit.
Great.
Woo.
Craig, fuck off.